Focus on what moves you closer to your results. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of my daily show. And today, again, in light of the Project 1 Million in 1 Year event, I just want to start off by saying that these participants that we're having at this event are absolutely crazy. These participants are on another level. They are so impressive. It's really beautiful to see, and I'm so very proud of the energy that they're bringing to the table, the things that they're doing, the action that they're taking, and it's just so beautiful to see. So today on my episode of how to work and focus on the things that move you closer to results, I'm going to unpack that in a lot more detail, but also I'm going to share something about why I know that so many of these beautiful people are going to get absolutely crazy results. So more on that on today's episode. Let's go. So, hello, amazing superstars. I'm so super excited for today's episode because, again, we're going to really focus on those things that you're going to focus on that are going to move you closer to your results and your success. And today was day number 2, which is the money shift day. And it's a very important day because we actually allow people to get rid of some of the things that are in our subconscious. And I want to actually ask a question straight away at the beginning of this episode is there anybody who's watching this either live or on the replay that have wanted something very much in your life? You want to create something, you want to get a particular result, whether that is in the area of finances, whether it's in the area of health, in the area of love, relationships, spirituality. You just want to be able to get to something, but it didn't actually happen for you, or it didn't happen for you yet. And this is actually a really important point because our event is called Project 1 Million in 1 Year. And how many people in this planet would actually like to make more money so they can look after themselves and their families better? Obviously, how many people would object to that? Nobody would, really. But the thing is that sometimes we want something, but subconsciously something is holding us back. And that was one of the things that we actually spoke about and really did some exercises about, to realize that it's not actually the conscious mind that is our problem, but it's the subconscious mind and all of the things that have been fed in there and that's been running around in the subconscious, that are the statements that we've learned ever since we were a little kid, and the things that we have picked up along the way, and whether that's things that family members have said or things that the school system has said or friends, or you have all of these things, all the beliefs that we have in our minds that a lot of the time are not even our beliefs, but our beliefs from other people that have just gotten into our beautiful brain, into our beautiful mind, into our spirit. And without us actually consciously being aware of it, these things are blocking us. And that's why it's so important to get rid of that. And I want to say, hey, Dad, I love you, Dad. Mwah. For those of you that are seeing our hermano below, that's my dad. So I'm just going to overlay that very quickly as well. And I'm just so happy that my dad is on here. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Tommy. So nice to have you guys on here. And those of you that haven't commented, also very happy to have you guys here. So do comment below. But that was actually a big thing, and we worked on that, and we really figured out about the importance of realizing how to get those things out there, but also that by doing that, we also unleash a lot of incredibleness. And that's also what I was saying earlier, is that I'm so impressed with this group. And I was sharing just before we had the intro video why I know that this group is really, truly going to transform their lives. And it's just amazing to be a part of that. But also what we then spoke about, and I think that will directly speak into what Tommy is saying right here. I just want to give a shout out to Tommy, saying that I want to improve my life. I want to get out of this rut and have an abundance lifestyle. And my recent finances are holding me back. Yeah, and I think this is such a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that so beautifully and so honestly. And I know you're not the only one who feels like that. Like, how many people are living hand to mouth every single month, even though they are the most brilliant people? And maybe I can ask you guys this question again as well. Like, how many of you feel like you have so much to give, and there is so many people that you have already helped in your life, but you're just not seeing the rewards from it. You're not seeing the financial impact of that on your own life. So it's a very important thing to be aware of. And again, we're going to talk about that and the title of this event, or the title of this not event, this is a mini event, the title of this episode, which is focus on those things that move you closer to results. And that was one of the things that we come to speak about. And as I was going through almost all of the live videos by now, I'm really going to give a shout out again to everybody that went live, is that a lot of you in your live videos are really beautifully um, sharing what you guys are learning. And I actually want to say, if there's anybody watching this video and you are not yet part of our beautiful free community, join the community. It's called the Freedom Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Group on Facebook. It's a free community, a free group where we have incredible people from all around the world. We right now have over 10,000 members, and these are people that are looking to grow their businesses. And we give advice in there. We give lots of resources, lots of mentorship types of things, and we run events and whatnot. And right now, if you go to this group, you're not yet part of it, but you go to this group, you can actually see all of the videos from our amazing participants. And even if you're not part of the event, you can still get the gist of what all of these beautiful people are learning by looking at their videos. And I highly recommend everybody to look at each other's videos, because it is really quite beautiful. But one thing that was very apparent that I just saw in a video by one of you was actually the focus. Where does the focus lie? Because I want to ask a question for everybody watching this video, again, live or replay. Comment below. Are you at the moment in business? And if you are in business, have you noticed that you like where you put your focus on? And a beautiful point that I was hitting home, and I'm going to talk now in a lot more detail in this live stream, is that most people put the focus on different things in their business that are actually not moving them closer to the results. So first question, what are those results? What are we talking about actually? Well, I think one very apparent result of a business is that you're making money, that you're building cash flow. And one of the main topics today, but we will carry on for the rest of this event on day number 3 tomorrow, day number 4, and day number 5, is how can you not just generate income from doing something powerful and purposeful, but how can you also make sure that that income is predictable? So I want everybody to comment below and say predictable income, because there's just a lot of difficulty. Like what Tommy was saying before, is when you notice that there's so much that you want to give, but that the finances are holding you back. And this is actually a thing that one of my students said a couple of months ago. She said, amazing Mary, she says, how is it so that most of us good people, we consult every single thing that we want to do in our life with our pocket? So basically, let's say I want to go and create a beautiful lifestyle, like abundance lifestyle, as Tommy is saying. Why is it that we always have to ask permission of our pocket, right? Why is that the case? Why is it that all of these things that we want to do in life, sometimes we let how much money we have in our lives right now dictate to which degree we can or cannot do certain things? Because you've probably had an example in your life that you really want to do something, like for instance, launching a business, and you felt, no, I can't do that at this moment because I don't have the money. And we have learned some of those things, like it takes money to make money. Well, none of that stuff is true at all. You can make money without having money, and it's just determining what you are focusing on. So that's why this topic is so important, because I know there is a lot of people on this YouTube channel that want to create incredible things. You want to grow your business, you want to create a freedom lifestyle, you want to do this because you want to look after yourself and your family. And if you look at your current bank account, maybe you think, oh, I'm not able to do it. But that's not true. And I want you to comment below and say, I'm not going to let money stop me from making money. That's a very, very important thing. So then comes us to the question, okay, so the result that we're looking to have is to be able to create more income, to be able to do that by means of helping people, by means of making an impact. And yesterday I discussed this beautiful, powerful $1 billion per day industry, which is called the knowledge industry, in which you can do that in an incredibly purposeful way. So where is then this notion coming from that many people want to do this? They want to be purposeful, they want to help people, But yet they're looking at their bank account and say, hey, right now things are so tough that I'm not able to do that. Well, that's the whole thing. That's the problem to solve. And that is actually the entire reason why you should do this. Because the financial situation is a difficulty right now, you should do this. You should pursue a path that allows you to bring more predictable income in by means of helping people. So then coming to the question or the topic of this video, which is focus on those things that bring you closer to the results. So what is that really? Now, if we come back to what we spoke about during our event, we actually had a very simple sequence of a couple of steps, which is about how can we actually not bring that income in as the result, right? And this beautiful sequence that we spoke about is in the book. And again, I know some of you have the book, some of you do not have the book watching this YouTube video, but I will just share the concept with you guys. So it's a very simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step like how do we call it, the structure. We like to do structural education, so we literally give people different pathways or blueprints that is very, very simple. So I want everybody to comment it below. It is phi leading to R, leading to C, leading to T, leading to B, leading to $sign. So I'm going to share it one more time. Visibility leading to relationships, leading to conversations, leading to trust, leading to business, which then leads to the cha-chings, the results, the money. And that's a very, very important thing as such. Now, I see a question coming in. I'm going to go over questions towards the end of this session as well. But this is a very good point that you're making, Tommy. And actually, the answer to that is very simple as well. So hold that thought. Yeah. So again, coming back to all of these things, the importance of you realizing where you're going to meet those results is basically where this whole thing gets solved and where you can allow yourself to not let money stop you from making money. Because just to tell you guys this as well, everybody on my YouTube channel will probably heard me speak about it at one point, and everybody in Project 1 Million, you already know it as well. But when I wanted to start my business, I didn't have the money for it. I didn't have the financial means to be able to do it. Did that stop me? No, because I also learned when I went to my absolutely first event in self-development and in business, which was the sentence that it's never the lack of resources, money being a resource, but it's only ever the lack of resourcefulness or desire. Meaning that if we really want something, the desire, and if we just become resourceful, aka we're going to find the means, we're going to find the money, we're going to make the time, then we are actually able to create that opportunity and actually start pursuing this mission that we want to pursue and wanted to pursue perhaps for some time. So that's a very, very important thing. But then the other part that I want to share with you is to also actually realize, okay, so I want to make more money. If I want to make more money, what do I then need? I need people. I need to speak to people because it's the people that have the money. And one of the big aha moments that a lot of people had as well during today and during yesterday also was that the things that we desire, the things that we wish, the things that we dream of actually already exist in the most part. So the lifestyle that we want, the abundance that we want, the results that we want, it's actually already in existence. That future that we connected to on day number 1, that future already exists. And it's just about us connecting to that future and then seeing, okay, how can I pull this future towards me? But if we come to the very simple terms then about just the financial aspect of that future, and we say, okay, I want to have a healthy bank account. I want to make sure that I have freedom and that I am able to do the things that I want to do. Yay! Leaves for mamas. Then the simple thing is to actually understand that money is already in this world. There is enough money in this entire world. There's so much money that in essence, if we were to evenly spread it between all of us, we would all be millionaires and there would be still money left over. So there's a absolute abundance of money. So that abundance mindset, realizing that that is there, that money is there, and most importantly, it's actually the energy within between the people, the exchange between the people was actually the most important thing, because you can just print more money if you really want to, right? But the thing is that we have to realize that what I want already exists and it's already out there. So then if we come back to, okay, what is the result that I want? I want to have a healthy cash flow so that consistently money is coming in predictably. Then that what I want, therefore, is that money. How am I going to get that money? Because the money already exists. So who beholds that money is the people. So then you have to figure out, okay, how do I get to the people, which is then the secondary result, or actually is the primary result to get to the secondary result, which is the ultimate result. So we want to get to more money from a just financial perspective. Who holds the money is the people. So then what do we have to get to? We have to get to the people. And what do we need to do? We need to allow those people to realize that what we have to offer is so much more powerful than the money. Hence, they will part with the money to receive the more powerful thing, which is you, your message, your value, that allows them to get further ahead in life. Therefore, you serve them so much more than a dollar could ever do. So now simplifying it again, what is it that we want? We want money. Who holds the money? The people. So what do we want to get in front of? It is the people. So then in that, there's the question, okay, so what do I then have to do? How do I do it? What are all of those things? Well, it's actually very simple in the same structure that I just gave you just before, which is the visibility. Okay, how can I be visible? How can I be in touch of those individuals, in touch with those individuals that are not able to exchange with me? So if you think about it, this can be done in a lot of different ways. That's why whenever there's a will, there's a way. Money should not stop you ever from making money. So if you think, okay, I want to be able to get myself to a certain level, I want to grow this business, then you just have to see, okay, how can I get myself in front of people? But those people can be different kinds of people. And this is actually an interesting thing because I'm going to explain that in a lot more detail tomorrow on day number 3. So everybody that's part of the event, you guys will really see this to a big, big, big degree. But those of you that are not part of the event, let me make it clear here now too, which is the following. So there's this beautiful quote by Grant Cardone where he says, "Who has my money?" So every single time he wants to do something that allows him to grow himself, his family, the mission, whatever he is doing, he basically asks the question, okay, who has my money? Let's just say, very simple example. Say he wants to go and invest in his business. So he wants to be able to put his investment to get some sort of skills or to get some machinery, to get something done for him or anything at all that will allow him to move the needle for his business. He's going to be like, hey, who has my money? And that's an important question or important point, sorry, that I want to make as well. Because most of us, like my student, rightfully so said, is that we as normal people, we consult with our pocket. And we're basically saying, if my pocket says that I don't have the money to be able to do that thing, I'm not going to do it. So I let my pocket decide what I can and cannot do. What is that kind of logic? How silly is that? Like, aren't we the ones that are supposed to be in control instead of a piece of paper? Is that piece of paper supposed to dictate what I can and cannot do in my life? No. So we have to change that thinking. But let me add some more fuel to this beautiful fire, because here's the crazy thing. The rich people that do have the money in their pocket in abundance, they still don't use their own money. That's what I want you guys to understand. So you and me, good people, humble people that want to do all these amazing things. We want to look after our families. We want to be able to give back to our communities, save our help our charities and whatnot. We think, oh, I cannot do this and that because I don't have the money. But the rich people that do have the money, they still don't use their money. They ask the question, who has my money? Who has the money that can allow me to do this particular thing that I want to do so that then everything can grow? Which, by the way, is not a weird thought. It's not a bad thought. Money is there in abundance. So if I say, hey, I want to invest in myself, I want to get myself to yet another level, I want to learn the skills of building a business, for instance, you want to invest in mentorship, you want to invest in a course or program that teaches you how to do any of these things, for instance, then I'm just going to say, okay, who's going to fund that course for me? What is the money that is out there already, it already exists, that is going to make that possible for me? Because it's never the lack of resources, the money not being in my pocket. It's only ever the lack of resourcefulness. So I'm going to find who has that money and how can I exchange with that money so that the person gives me that money and I give that person something so much more valuable, so that that exchange becomes a no-brainer and I can do what I want to do. How many of you understand what I'm speaking about so far? If you do, then comment below and say yes. So that's the question. Who has my money? Who has the money that allows me to do this thing that I now want to do? Whether that's investing in myself, whether it's growing my business, whether it's anything in the name of good, because we only ever discuss good things right here, right? If you want to do this for crooked things, you want to become a villain, then obviously this is not your channel. Get out of here. This is not going to help you. But if you're a good person, you want to do good things with your money, with your business, with whatever else it is that you do, because at the end of the day, you realize that when we all die, we're not going to take any of that crap with us, right? The only thing that really matters is the good that we do in this world, but money is an amplifier of that goodness. So whenever we talk about these things, it's just good things for good people, right? But that then being said is very simple. So I now want to, for example, invest in myself. And as a starter, this is a true story, I didn't have the money to invest in myself. I couldn't acquire that knowledge of how to effectively build my business. So guess what I did? I asked my parents. We have my dad on here right now, my mom on here. And I basically said, hey, I don't have the money, but there's a course right there that I want to do that is so valuable, that's going to change everything. And I asked my parents if I can borrow some money. So it's a pretty similar thing. I said, like, hey, who has the money? My parents. Parents, hello. Can I borrow some money? And very luckily, my parents were able to support me. Then another thing was, okay, who has my money? The bank. And I already had a study loan. So I was like, well, it's probably nothing going to happen because I already have a loan. How can they do me another loan? But I called them up and I said, bank, what can you do for me? And the bank said, hey, we can top up your loan. I said, yes, let's go. Let's do it. So again, I didn't have the money, but I realized that the money that I needed was already in existence. And I was just like, okay, how can I exchange with that? Now, obviously, my parents are the best parents in the world. And they are so sweet, so amazing. They've always provided for me, my brother, my sister, forever. When I was a little kid, right now, and in the future, forever. And so obviously many of you maybe have family members as well in the same beautiful light that you can ask for. And we actually had a question from one of our members in a previous event that says like, yeah, I want to propose a business plan for my auntie who's going to help me in, investing in myself and whatnot. And then it's like, okay, well, how do I put the terms together? So we were actually helping like how to approach an investor. But then when it comes to the terms of the family, a lot of the time, the terms of family members is not like, oh, I want to see a 5% return and blah, 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 this many months, this was the royalties and whatnot. That doesn't really happen in that way. But what matters to family members is that you're doing something good, that you are allowing yourself to build a beautiful future. And do you think that if you will do well with your business, that you are abundantly going to look after the loved ones that supported you in this journey? Of course. So those terms may be slightly different than the terms that you have or the exchange that you have with a bank. Like when I was doing the deal with the bank of getting another loan or getting a top up in my existing loan, it is not like I'm going to say, hey, bank, we're going to be buddies for the rest of our life and I'm going to keep on supporting you one way or another. No, it's just like, hey, you're going to have to pay interest, X amount extra, percentage extra, and I paid that. And so that was the exchange. So what I want you guys to understand is that in a lot of different ways, there is something that you are giving for finding that money that is so much more valuable than what the other person is giving that money for. So these were two examples of finding OPM with family members, could be friends, could be anybody as such, or with an external party like a bank or an investor or whatnot. But there's also the other part, which is simply just doing sales. And so that's something that, again, for every participant, we're going to talk about tomorrow, day number 4, day number 5. And it's going to be so simplified, guys, that you guys are probably going to fall off your chair and see like, oh my, this is literally going to change the game. And that's why I'm so excited and why I'm so certain that you guys, provided that you follow through on this, are going to get results. But here's then the thing. So a little example, if you want to go and get this business started, you want to maybe invest in a mentorship program and whatnot, but you're like, oh, how do I do this? How do I start this? Or any of these things. Just start by helping people. Start, and the same thing applies to what Tommy is saying. I'm going to go into that in the question and answer by the end. But if the bank said no to me, I would have still done it. I would have still made it happen. Maybe not with the bank, but in another way. And to give you an example, I shared this during the event as well, which was one of our students wanted to get started with us. It was like 5 years ago or something. And she didn't have the ability to get a loan. She didn't have family members that could support her, but she had a closet full of dresses that she hardly wore. And so what she basically did is was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go on Facebook, there's Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to take some pictures of these dresses and I'm going to put them out there for sale. Because she was not using those dresses. Those dresses were beautiful, and there were so many beautiful, amazing ladies that wanted to make use of those dresses. And so these dresses were super, super valuable, especially compared to the price that she was selling them for. But because she did that, there was a means for her to give so much more value and to receive money in return. So she was asking, hey, who has my money? It happened to be ladies that want to have beautiful dresses that she could exchange with them. And that allowed her to be able to really take those steps forward. Does that make sense? So the point that I'm trying to make is that everything is possible as long as you know, okay, what is the result that I want and how can I move towards that result? Another example. So maybe at this moment you already have a business and you already have a product or a service, and you're just at this moment not seeing as many clients, you're not seeing as many financial results than you know you could be, because you know what you're doing is super valuable. So what do you got to do at that point? Literally just speak to more people. Now, how do you speak to more people? By being more visible. What can you do? Very similar to what I'm doing right now. You grab your phone. You have your phone and you go to social media. Oh, wow, this was getting a lot of noise. You go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, you go to YouTube, you go to a platform. My advice would always be Instagram, because that's a platform that allows you to not just be visible, but also in the same platform have the ability to have conversations. So if you are starting from the get-go, then go to Instagram and just start sharing your value. And that's why also I want to highlight for everybody that is part of the event, watch the video that Christiana just made. It's a really, really powerful video. And she has been, I'm going to give a shout out tomorrow if I don't forget, but she has been visible since the last Project 1 Million, because she's one of our students. She came to the previous event. And since then, she made the commitment, okay, I'm going to be visible. And she's been doing this. And she shared the impact that it has had already on so many of the people in her vicinity, people that are watching her videos. They're short, simple videos, she says, but they make such an impact. And guess what's going to come from that? If you pick up the phone and you know, okay, my topic is helping people with gaming, since we have Shrarup over here who thinks that I am disappointed in him. Why do you think that? Why do you think that? And I also want to know that I love all of my students so very much. And I might be strict for you, but you cannot disappoint me. Like, it's like a parent. I'm a parent for all of the students. So, can you disappoint me? Maybe a little bit if you're not believing in yourself or you're doing silly things. But in you, Sharoop, I'm not disappointed. Just let me know. Let me share that with you. But what I am going to insist is that you keep taking action once again. Because Sharoop is actually one of those examples. Someone who made the impossible possible because he took so much action. This entire topic that we're talking about, this guy actually did. So I want to highly recommend everybody to follow this guy. He's amazing. He has a heart of gold. And as like every other person out there, sometimes our mindset goes down the drain because some of the things that happen. And it's totally normal. That's why we're human. But remember, for everybody here watching this video or maybe having heard the day number 2, is that challenge that we're all going through, you, me, equal, like all of us go through the same mindset stuff, is actually the power of the entire journey at all, because that's the part where we as a caterpillar are getting out of our cocoon and we're shaping the strengths of our fly thingies, wings, to be able to fly. And again, for those of you that were not there on day number 2, there's a beautiful story about the caterpillar and a boy, where a boy helps a caterpillar or a butterfly actually helps the butterfly get out of the cocoon, because he sees the butterfly, who's turning a butterfly, struggling and opening up the cocoon and to come out. So he helps the butterfly, but then in a few moments, the butterfly dies. Why? Because the butterfly hadn't built up the strength that it needed by coming out of the cocoon to actually be able to fly. And so that butterfly dies because the butterfly has no means to go and move and transport him or herself to different flowers to be able to consume and to be able to do what a butterfly does. So the point of the story is that we have to realize that our struggles, whether that's difficulty in finances, difficulty in mindset, you pursuing your dream and then coming across challenges, that is actually you getting out of your cocoon. You're building your strength. So don't be like thinking like, oh, that's a bad thing. No, it's part of our journey and it's actually intentionally there because it is absolutely necessary. Whatever you and me are going through in our journeys is absolutely necessary because it makes us the person that we are always meant to become. And that's why I love this beautiful saying or words by the Prophet Muhammad, who says that something that is meant for you will never miss you, and whatever is not meant for you will never hit you, or something along those lines. So have faith that the right things will come at the right time, but in the meantime, keep going, keep believing yourself, keep taking action, which is exactly in line with the topic of this video. But again, what should one do? One should go and make a video, share the value that you can bring, share some tips, share some inspiration. This could be anything, literally all different topics. No matter what your business or business idea is about, start talking about it. Say, and we're going to talk about this, well, actually on the fourth day, but I'm just going to say it again. The tip of the day. What is just simply the tip of the day in your industry or in your topic that you want to help people with? So could be mindset, could be gaming, could be purpose, could be business. It could be whatever it is that you want to help people with. So you just turn on your camera. It doesn't have to be actually on Instagram. You can just literally grab your camera and you say, hey, tip of the day is, and you give that tip. Now, I want to challenge you guys. If you are capable of doing that just for 10 days, every single day you make a 30-second video tip of the day, you're going to see a difference in your life. And the difference in your life is going to be in a multitude of areas. Number one, you're going to feel empowered because of the act of just doing that every day, creatively coming up with a tip. Number two, you're going to realize that this whole game of content creation is actually really simple and you've just been complicating it in your own mind. Number three, you're going to find people that appreciate your content and they're going to leave a beautiful comment and say, hey, thank you so much for this. I really needed to hear this. This is awesome. Thank you. More, please. And you're going to be like, wow, I didn't even notice that what I have to share was actually valuable to others, but apparently it is. And number four, you're going to have people that want to conversate with you. And those are then the people that will ultimately lead to a beautiful conversation that leads to trust, that leads to business. And that is why whenever someone says, oh, I don't have the money, so I cannot do a business, that's absolutely bogus, or whatever funny word that we want to say. It's just not true. If there's a will, there's a way. And even if at this very moment you have no clear context of what this business might be, still speak to people. Because ultimately, what is business? Business is just solving people's problems. Guess what is the problem that I am solving all day, every day? Is helping people break free from whatever's going on in their minds and actually be able to be purposeful and make more money, to be able to build a freedom lifestyle, to be able to go and scale your business, have more money so that you can help your family. You can go and live a life on your terms rather on the terms dictated by other individuals that may not have the best interest of you at heart, thereby speaking to the systems that have been designed to keep us stuck. And yes, those systems are in place and these things are holding us back without us even knowing. That's why day number 2 is such a powerful day, because all of the work that these systems have been doing for years to condition us to think that we cannot do it, we had to undo that in just a couple of hours, which is a lot of work. But it can be done, and it will be done. And if you allow yourself to walk that path of freedom, freedom of mind, freedom of everything, then your life is going to change. But you have to believe in it. You have to take those action steps. And if you're consistent at it, you're going to see the results of it relatively quick. So I want to actually ask you a question. Who here is going to grab the challenge to actually make a 30-second video tip of the day for at least 10 days from now? Comment below and say challenge accepted, if that is you, if you dare. Comment below and say challenge accepted. And if you don't say challenge accepted, then you also understand what is the core of your problem. It's not money, it's you. People are not getting results just because of the circumstances. No, it's because of us not doing what we have to do to get closer to those results. So again, what is this whole point of this video right now as well, is that we want to do those things that move us closer to our results. This is one of them. Make a video of 30 seconds every single day about a tip of the day in your topic. You're going to see it will change your life. Now, after those 10 days, will you then be a millionaire? Well, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's very likely that that part has not necessarily been established that quickly, but you will see change. You will get those 4 wins that I shared before. And that puts you in a position to reevaluate about, hey, what can I do? There's actually interest in this. Oh, this is very cool. I'm going to ask the questions. Remember the copy strategy. How can I help you? Let me solve that for you. So you're going to get active feedback about possibilities that allow you to actually make money, to actually solve people's problems. And so you are the one that is in control of building this beautiful future. Now, I know that there's still so many question marks that one may have if you are not part of the event. You're like, oh, how do I do it? What is the roadmap? What are the things? Like, all of our participants will have that roadmap because they are part of the event. And if there's anybody watching this and you're not part of Project 1 Million in 1 year, maybe you're watching this video in a couple of weeks from now. We run this event pretty much every 6 weeks. So if you want to be part of it, the link to that is Project 1 Million in 1 year.com. It's a free event, or at least right now it is a free event. I'm not sure if it's going to stay free in the future, but then you can be part of that as well. So if you click on this link, you can sign up for the next one that starts on the 28th of May. You cannot be part of this one anymore because we're already in day 2. But you can still learn a lot from it, even if you're watching these videos, which are the whole point of the after party of the event, to re-solidify some of these points. Oh, I love what my dad is saying. I still have Tjibaria's vision wall from 10 years ago. Yes, I was actually speaking about that with the participants, saying that almost all of the points on that vision vision wall, have come to realization or to fruition, which is really crazy. So when you imagine something and you put it down, that's why on day number 1, I said to you guys, write down and visualize that future, and then write it down. And if you can find visual aid, then it will change the way how you are getting closer to that vision. And if you then back that up with taking the actions, which is exactly the topic of this video, which is focus on the things that move you closer to those results, then before you know it, whatever you've put on your vision board will actually come to be realized. And the funny thing is that I completely forgot about the vision board. It wasn't until Mom said, hey, it seems like all of the stuff on the vision board have been realized apart from one. I was just like, whoa, that's crazy. And I didn't think about it. And that's also a beautiful quote by Master Akashna: set it and forget it. So you set the targets, you internalize it somewhere, you write them down, you get visual aid, and then you just go about doing your doings and you forget about it. But then it's still working in the background in the creation process. And then backed up by you taking the relevant actions will then in fact move you closer to actually realizing it before you know it. But I want to say the other part of this topic today as well. What is it that most people do and therefore they don't see the results? Because I say you need to focus on those things that bring you results, right? Which is being literally with the people, having conversations, and allowing you to help a person forward, right? So that you can exchange the money for your value, your service, and whatnot. But what do most people do? They focus on all sorts of things that are super nice and keeping them super busy, but it's not giving you any opportunity to monetize. So people focus on their websites and they find supersonic people to go and make those websites. And then they have those websites, but they're not getting any clients. Absolute no-no. People work on their business cards. Like, unless you're frequently going to networking events where you exchange the business cards, then I would say that's also a no-no. And even if you go to business cards, these days, you know what my business card is? My Instagram. My Instagram, where I share different information with people, is a much better business card. It's completely free of charge. And people can actually see a lot more than just what is my name and what is my email address. No, just let them go to your Instagram, connect with them there, exchange phone numbers so you can give them a call or you send them a message. So that's an absolute no-no. People work on creative stuff all the time, like creative things, like they're building their course, they're working on the logo, they're working on this, they're working on that. But these things are nice and they're absolutely necessary at a certain point. But if you're working on creating the most perfect artwork and all of that stuff, unless that's your business, then you should absolutely work on that. But if you're an artist or if you're a designer, but other than that, like, that will happen, but it's not a priority at the beginning. You want to focus on marketing and sales, which is essentially what I spoke about for the first 35 minutes of this video. What I was describing, the process of you being visible, you interacting with people, you having conversations with people, you figuring out what is people's problems, how can you solve them. That part is marketing and sales. And that's where 90% of your focus should be. But there's so many business owners that work on all of these other super nice things that the business owner does, making a financial forecast, making a business plan. Guys, if you make a business plan and you put it in action, all of that stuff you can throw it out of the window because it never ends up in that way anyways. Just speak to a person. Speak to a fellow human being and figure out how you can help them. And if you focus on that impact, which is the other side, so you can call it marketing and sales, or you can call it impact and empowerment, is you conversating with another person and figuring out what is it that they have as a problem and how can I help them solve it. And if you do, and if you allow that to be effectively communicated, they will part with their money for the solution that you can provide. And that solution that you will provide, lo and behold, will probably be something that is so much more valuable and they've been stuck with for years. And they're happily going to pay you $500, $1,000, $5,000, whatever, something along those lines. And it will make a difference to the both of you. Does that make sense? So focus on those things that will move the needle for you, that bring you closer to those results. And with that, stop being in your own way. Because that's really what it is. Like, I gave you guys a very simple thing to do, and only one of you has commented below and say challenge accepted. So Sharup, I'm very proud of you. But there's at least 10 people here. So what do we also deduct from this? It means that it is us. We are stopping ourselves. If there's a will, there's a way. So the question that I have in conclusion, before we go to the Q&A, is how much do you really want to change your life? Do you really want to change your life? Do you really want to make a difference? Do you really want change? Guess what? You got to change. If we want change, which all of us do, that it's up to us to change our ways and to do things different. Because if we keep on doing what we've always done, we're going to keep on getting what we've always gotten. So it always starts with us. And the beautiful thing, therefore, it is that we hold the power to change our lives. Doesn't matter what the government does. Doesn't matter what the situation is with your bank account. Doesn't matter what is the other situations of people around you. No, you can do this. You are absolutely capable of changing your life. But you got to be the one that starts. And that's why, again, I'm so happy that all of our Project 1 Million in 1 year people are with us, because we are sharing these steps. Like, not me right now pushing it all through this one video in 45 minutes, but we're taking it step by step and everybody's following this pathway. So if you're watching this video at whichever point in time and you're like, hey, I want to get that step-by-step guidance too, then go to the link Project 1 Million in 1 year. That is Project Digit 1 Million in digit1year.com. Yeah, and be part of this and allow this to change your life too. As for our amazing participants, you guys get ready for day number 3. Because day number 3, if you like day number 1, if you like day number 2, day number 3 is going to be on a whole nother level. And you will have no more excuses not to be able to know what to do when it comes to your business. Because you're going to learn and unpack together and design together what this business actually is. What are the different packages? What are the different pricing that you do? And I'm getting a call from someone's awesome. And you're going to actually know exactly what to do to go and bring it out there so that you can close the sales. Yes, Tommy, let's go. Hoo, ha, hoo. Challenge accepted. Now I'm just waiting for all the other ones of you guys to comment that below as well. Now let's go and do a little Q&A, because I've been ranting a little bit, but I'm also only ranting because I know that you are this close to completely transforming your life. And I just really, really, really want you to do it. And I really don't want you to stop yourself anymore. And I'm just going to be here spreading this message for as long as I need to make sure that you guys understand, hey, I can do it. And you're actually going to do it. So, questions, if you have any questions, comment it below. And we're going to open up the chat for all of these. So I want to go to a question that came in a little earlier from Tommy. So he says, I have government rules that I have to adhere by here in Ireland, like taxation and registering myself as a sole trader or a small limited company. Also, I got no business training in school. Okay, so you got no business training in school, pretty much the rest of the world is there right there with you. That's not going to stop you. I already know you're an amazing person. You give so much of your dedication to everything that you do with us in the event. So you're gonna rock this. And yes, obviously you have to follow the rules that are there, but that's done in a very quick manner. So just go to your government page and say, hey, I want to register a company. Maybe when you register a company, there's a couple of things that you have to read, which I don't like. I don't like to read, but so maybe that will take a little bit of time depending on your speed of reading. And then boom, you can have it done in an afternoon. So that's not going to stop you. And if taxation is going to be something that worries some of you, like here's a very important thing. I'm not sure if Tommy is saying that, but I'm saying this. Tax is a luxury problem. Because if you make zero money, you're going to pay zero tax when it comes to income tax as a business, right? So you're only ever going to have to worry about tax when you're making sales. Now, you should not worry ever whatsoever. But the thing is that it only will become relevant to you once you're making sales. So if you're not making sales yet, please don't worry about tax. Just go out there and make sales. And then just put some money aside from every sale that you're getting so that you can adhere to whatever the rules are with the taxation in your company or in your country. Yeah? So that's a very important thing. So don't let any of these things stop you. And a lot of the time, people overcomplicate things before they even get there. So I think that's just a normal thing that we as humans do. Because, hey, life isn't exciting enough, isn't it? So let's add some extra fuel to the fire with our beautiful, beautiful minds. Let me just see. Oh, thank you so much, Sharup. Sharup is saying, you mean a lot to me, the best mentor I have ever had. So I promise you that from today, I will take action and make videos no matter how hard it may be, and will update you on Messenger regularly. Let's go, Sharup. Hoo ha hoo, you got this. And even at that, it could be that you miss a video sometimes. Like, don't be too hard on yourself as well. Make it fun. Have enjoyment in spreading the message. And this is another thing we're going to talk about on the number 4 of the event. And by the way, Sharup, can you actually drop a message in our chat and say to Christina that I said that you should be on the event? You can just come in. Like, most people that are not part of it, they're not able to join, but you're our student. You've been to the event before, so you should absolutely join. And then ask Christina if she can get you on day number 3, and then day number 4 and day number 5. Yeah. So if you can just do that, then you can just get back into the energy and the swing of things, and then get that boost as such. But what I wanted to say is that, yeah, whenever these things happen, and sometimes maybe you miss a little video or you miss a day or whatnot, it's part of the journey. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. Really allow yourself to find the enjoyment in it all. And what we sometimes forget when we go into business or when we want to make a change to our lives, we are very aware of why we're doing it with regards to ourselves. But then also, and this is what we did too on day number 1, is to figure out, like, why do you want to do it from the impact perspective? Like, why do you want to go and help people? Why is that important to you? And so what then we have to not forget is that even if I was making this video and there was no one watching, or there was just one person watching, sometimes people get discouraged because there's only one person watching. And right now there's, just letting you know, 7 people watching, and people are like, oh, it's not worth my while. Only when there's thousands of people would this be worth it. Well, that's complete BS. And that's just very weird, because don't we just know that when we go into business or we go and make this video or we make some impact, that we do it for however many people are there? And even if there was just one person that will watch this in the replay, and that person will change their lives or have inspiration or have an impact on them as such, isn't that enough? It is enough. And that's what we're doing it for. So when you go and make your videos, and maybe in the beginning there's not many people watching, there's not many people commenting and whatnot, just realize that it's not about all of those numbers. What it is about is that you are doing something that can help someone. And when you do it from that perspective, selfless, and with just the fullest conviction, as if you had an audience with 5,000 people there, if you show up with that level of conviction, then that is going to be abundantly rewarded, because you are sincere and you're caring, and you are doing it because you know it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to share some of your learnings along your life that can make someone else's life easier, right? So that's a very, very important point. And if you take value in that part, just the impact that you're making on one person or two people or three people, then that makes it fun. And then you know, hey, this is why I'm doing it. Even if I'm not going to get anything from it, like the funds or the money or the sales, I'm just helping people. But that's also then the whole magic of the whole thing, because if we are here with people and if we focus on impact, income will come. It's just a natural force of nature, so to speak. So if I focus on making an impact on people, the money side of things, it will come. But that's why I'm saying it's very simple. You just have to get started by being visible. So again, an opportunity for anyone who's still here to comment below and say challenge accepted. 10 days, make a video on your Instagram for just 30 seconds, tip of the day. And if you do that for 10 days in a row, you're going to see a difference in your life. So comment below if you're part of that challenge and say challenge accepted. All right, let's see if there's any other things coming in. I see my dad is saying, Aku cinta, wow, my pronunciation. Aku cinta sampai berjumpa lagi. Yes. Mwah. How funny, Papa. And I see thanks and will do thanks. All right, cool. So that's it for today. Man, I had a very long day and I'm still showing up here at 11 a.m., 11 p.m. Dubai time. Why? Because also I want to practice what I preach. And this is the thing. If you make a commitment to yourself and to the people that you care about, then follow through on that commitment. And there might be times when you're too tired, where you're a little bit stressed, or where something happens that you're not able to show up. Then be kind for yourself. And next day you pick it back up and you keep going. And you allow yourself to just be as consistent as you can be. When you show up consistently, your life will change. And on that note, I'm gonna go. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the bell, make sure to share this video if you think it may help someone else. And yes, we got another one. Vanessa, challenge accepted. Let's go. Super. Okay, personal or business. We're gonna talk about that on day number 4. So right now, personal. Okay, so just your personal accounts, totally fine. And then we'll shift whenever necessary. But yeah, do all of those actions. Have a beautiful rest of your day, night, evening, morning, anything in between. And I catch you guys tomorrow for those participants on day number 3, and for the people on YouTube on another day of the Daily Show. Bye, guys. Mwah.